Hey man, guess what?
What?
Chicken butt.
Yo, what's going on? I would start rapping, but right now I'm a little bit under the weather because there's been things that are going on that don't make sense, and I really wanted to make sense, like make it make sense. Right now, I've been eating a lot of budget meals. I might show you guys my next budget meal. Now you're like, well, who eats that? You know, well, sometimes whenever you're making a meal, you have to whenever you're hungry, you go into your cabinets and realize, I just don't have the necessary items to make that super extra delicious meal you'll make whenever you have all the ingredients for it. So sometimes it's not like settling, because I really believe sometimes whenever you don't have a lot of stuff in your cabinet, that's whenever you really start to shine. You just look at like 4 or 5 ingredients, you're like, you know what, I know exactly what I can do with those ingredients. I know exactly what I can do with those ingredients. At that point, you pull out your pots, your pans, your spoons, forks, and stuff like that, and you just develop this like pre-cycle of how you're going to do it, and you almost even taste what it tastes like before you do it. You can almost imagine what it tastes like, and that's the reason why you start grabbing the ingredients that you grab and cook it up that way. So I've been experimenting a lot. I've seen different dishes come out of my kitchen and fed to people. Your boy is Chef Boyardee. You guys can probably check out one of my budget meals, my struggle. It's not even a struggle meal, it's just a budget meal. Check out one of my budget meals here later. Outside of that, I'm going to touch down in a spot that I know can treat me the best way I know how. You guys might be able to check that out, but I'm gonna go to that spot, might bring you guys along. I'm not being secretive or anything. I just don't really feel like explaining details and all that good stuff, but you guys will see it, or you guys can catch up with me when I start making my budget meal. But before I go into the whole video thing, it's been a occurrence that's been going on. Apparently 93% of my views come from people that aren't subscribed to me, or it's like a number like that. And I would like it if my engagement and my views came from people that follow me, essentially, that subscribe. If you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, then you can be a part of this process, this league of giants, because we making plays. People be faking like play action. Just remember that. But I'm gonna get into the rest of the video, and you guys tend to toes down. Yeah. my lovelies. You guys have been just some of the best viewers I've ever had. And because of 51 subscribers, we've made it past technically the first real milestone of this process. Let's bring it in. Yes. And I'm gonna do a little something for you guys, cause we made it to 51. Sometimes you're like, oh, you know, what do you do to do like this and that? Like, it's like here, there, over here, over there, far beyond, but really close at the same time. I'm actually really hungry. I went grocery shopping, but I haven't like taken the groceries out of the bag. They're like sitting down somewhere just in this room, in the spot right now, but I'm gonna do that a little bit later. I just thought first I would get on the camera and let you guys know what's the dealio, or what's the breaking, you know, breaker, you know, we're just trying to figure out what those things are. Decided to channel my inner Ice Cube. I turned on that song Real Roll Call. I listened to his verses before, but I listened to his verse today and I was like, okay, he had 2 verses on that song, and I listened to both verses today and I was like, okay, you know, I see what he was saying. You know, he realistically, like, his flow was like a modernized like Zeus kind of. He's just like, you know, and if I go helter skelter, nigga, God help a nigga. You know, like, it was a real fun rhyme to listen to. And if anyone's ever played combat sports or any contact sports, would get the feeling of what it's like to listen to a song like Real Roll Call, and you hear the verse, like the verse is coming in clear, you know, headphones, and you're like in the middle of like a training, and like all of a sudden the verse hits. You're like, yeah, you know, you're like hyped to do it like 4 more times, if you know what I mean. But you know, they made it easier to scrub back to your favorite part in songs. But I just listen to it. I kind of do the thing that I want to do in the moment while I'm listening to the song. Once it's done, I'm like, man, I can't wait to feel that again. You know what it is, baby. You know, clearly we have reestablished a connection with something in the past, and realistically speaking, the memory had me off end, and I don't know if I want to memorize that again. I don't know. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit later. Yeah.
Hey man, guess what?
What?
Chicken butt.